All right, guys, so over the last few months, I've generated, scroll this up here, so you can see 6,003 life insurance, final expense life insurance leads for $6.69 a pop. It's actually a lot more than that. As you can see, there's more and more leads on here, but we're just gonna go with 6,000 because I was too lazy to add up all of the numbers. But basically, having spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook, and generated thousands of leads for final expense life insurance, and also coach other agents on how to do it. I'm going to give you guys the 3 things that basically kind of have allowed me to do this so you can start to see the same results for yourself. So we're going to jump into my laptop and I'm going to break it down for you guys. Alrighty, my beautiful people. So you want to start generating leads and you want to get them for cheap and you want to get high quality leads. I'm going to give you guys, again, the 3 things that you need to know to start doing that. So let's start off with number 1. So this is the biggest key. And a lot of these things, I'm always getting better, always learning, always finding out new things. These are some things that I guess I kind of knew, but they really got hammered home for me over the last few months when I was running this project. So the first thing is you really want to generate in-pain leads, right? In-pain leads. Now, what does that actually mean? Let's kind of break it down here. I'm going to uncover this. Basically, whenever you're trying to pick a market or find a niche or solve a problem, you need to pick people that are in a lot of pain, right? Or they have a really pressing problem to solve. Like, for example, if you think about some of the bigger brands out there, right? Think of an example would be Icy Hot. That's one of the easiest products to sell in the world because people literally have physical pain, right? My back hurts constantly and I'm going to put this on and it's hot and cold and it's going to solve my back pain, for example. I don't actually have back pain, but that's an example of a product that solves a pain, right? So anytime that your product is going to alleviate pain or alleviate stress, it always is going to be much easier to sell. Whereas there's other products, right? You have the in-pain products, and then you have this would be a luxury product, a luxury product versus an in-pain product, right? So for example, there's a lot of people that will they'll try to sell IULs to people that just want to do infinite banking because it's cool, right? And it's trendy, right? There's trendy stuff and then there's in-pain, solve an immediate problem kind of thing. And the trendy stuff you can still sell, you can still generate leads, but it's not as easy as in-pain. Because when somebody has a serious problem that they want solved and they want to be relieved from that stress, relieved from that pain, or to solve that problem, they will crawl through fire and climb mountains of ice to solve that problem, right? Weird analogies, but you guys get the point. So basically what we did is we found a specific gap, a specific niche in the market that just had a very, very serious problem they wanted solved. And what I've learned is the riches are basically in the niches, right? So you want to find that group of people has a problem, has that stress, has something that's on their mind that is going to cause them to already be thinking about life insurance. For example, we had a client of ours about a year ago. They started targeting cops and first responders, right? If you think about it, especially with everything going on in the news, those people they feel like they're in danger, and they actually are. They're constantly in danger. And we basically created a whole campaign that was directed at cops and first responders to solve that problem, right? And it crushed it. They were getting $3 to $5 leads. They ended up scaling up leads for their whole agency using the in-pain lead method, right? And it's also, when you do this, not only is it easier to generate the leads, but it's actually easier to sell to people that have a problem than people who are just looking for a quote. So I see a lot of other people that, have training programs teaching you how to generate leads. They charge you a few $1,000 to set it up for you. And they basically just run ads that are hey, get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, get a quote, click here, get a quote. And that's cool, and you'll probably get leads, but those people are much harder to sell than somebody that has a problem that they want solved. Just think about it, right? Let's say I'm shopping for roofing. If I go online and I'm hey, my roof is leaking, I need a roofer now, right? Versus I'm just getting quotes on roofs, which person is going to be a better buyer and which person is going to buy quicker, answer the phone, and want to talk to you. Obviously, the person with their roof caving in. So that's essentially kind of like the philosophy behind what we're doing here. So if you guys want like a video about how to find these niches and how to find in-pain leads, just drop a comment down below. I can make like another video that kind of goes into that. The second thing is basically you need to test creatives like an absolute psychopath. And a lot of people will like tell you to do this, and I don't think anyone ever internalizes this message. Whenever you're trying to figure out lead gen, you really need to like cycle in a lot of creatives. So what I do is every single week I have a meeting with my creative team, my marketing team, and we basically brainstorm and come up with ideas for an hour every single week. So that's all the time that it takes me, is an hour a week. It's not like anything, ridiculous. It'll be more going forward for the reasons that I'll explain to you guys in just a moment. But I was able to do this with about an hour a week of work. So basically we would come up with ideas for tests and then basically just execute on tests. So this would be like test this photo versus this video versus this hook versus that hook. And we would just cycle them boom, 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 and just find like what works the best. And then whenever we found something that works, we would just make iterations and versions of that to find more and more and more winners. And the cool thing about Facebook is like once you find about 2 to 4 ads, you can scale up and generate leads for an entire agency with about 2 to 4 winning ads that are like really cranking. And that's basically what we did, right? We were always cycling new stuff to keep the ad account fresh, but most of our leads came from about 2 to 4 ads, right? If you guys want to get those exact ads, I'll show you how at the end of this training. The second thing was like testing like a psychopath. And whenever you hear that, just if your ads aren't working, I promise you, like I've heard people say like, oh, my Facebook is broken, or Facebook doesn't work for me, or I can't figure it out. The answer to your problems is just test more creatives and test better creatives. That's literally going to solve all your problems. Obviously, there's a little more to that because you have to test the right things. But when you're testing the right things and you're testing the right things a lot, you're going to see success. It's literally that simple. Okay. Now, the last piece of the pie here is one that was actually really hard for me, and that is lose your ego, right? So, I've been doing Facebook since I was like 15. I'm 22 now, so 7 years of running ads on Facebook. I think that I know what works, right? I think that I know what works. Maybe you've been selling insurance for a while and, you learn like this new objection to overcome or whatever, and you're like, oh, that can't be right because I was taught it different. I've been doing sales forever, right? Your ego gets in the way and often blocks you from having success. And so one thing that I've had to learn to do is like a lot of times what you think is going to work is not what works. It's what you don't think is going to work that works, right? And so the way that you need to approach this is doing all of this testing, right? Once you find these in-pain markets, these people that are like having a problem they need solved, and you're testing like a psychopath, you just need to trust the data, right? Whatever is working the best, that is where you're going to spend more money, and that is where you're going to create more ads like that, right? And when you do that, and you do that over and over and over and over again, you'll start to find more of these winning ads that just basically fill your entire pipeline with these in-pain leads that are ready to buy. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, like when you find this, it's like a cash cow, right? I mean, guys, $6.69 leads, 6,000 of them. I talk to people all the time they can't even generate, 50 leads a week for like $10 a pop. They're paying like $20 a lead because they don't have this. But when you find that market, when you find that pocket, that niche pocket of just people that just like need your service, it flies off the shelf. It's crazy. And people are much easier to talk to on the phone too. So you really want to lose your ego, right? Facebook is weird, people are weird, and what works oftentimes will shock you, right? Like the ad that got most of our leads, I never would have guessed that ad would have gotten most of our leads. And we literally had like 374 comments of people saying, I'm interested, need more information. Like, blows your mind. It doesn't even make sense. It feels crazy explaining this to you, but this is actually like literally what happened, right? So the biggest thing that helped me was like I found like a proven formula for these creatives, and then I just ran with it and kept doing it over and over and over and over and scaling it up and scaling it up and scaling it up and just doing it more and more and more. and it worked, right? I also, I have like mentors that I've paid in the past, and I consult with them, and that's, something that's been super helpful for me. Is like one of my mentors is this guy named Sabri Subi. He's like a big marketer from Australia, and so I joined his course, like maybe 6 months ago, and like so the stuff that I've learned from his program has been awesome, right? More like general marketing stuff, not specific to insurance, but like that, like losing my ego and just like following the system, following what works. Those are the 3 keys that have really allowed me to do this, right? Now, those are the 3 keys. I want to kind of show you guys something else here real quick as we wrap this video up. If you guys are looking for, obviously you're watching this video because you're trying to generate your own leads. Maybe you're not seeing as much success of it. And if you want to get my help, my team's help to basically coach you up so that you can see similar results to this, maybe you don't need 6,000 leads, but maybe you want 500 leads a week, right? Maybe you want 100 leads a week, whatever that number is for you to help you reach your goals. We can help you get there because we obviously have the system. It's worked for us. It's worked for other agents. And basically we have a program where you can get weekly coaching from me. I do 2 coaching calls a week where I review people's ads, look at them, pick it apart, tell them, do this better, tweak this, test this ad. And the other piece too is you guys literally get our top performing ads, right? So the exact ad that generated us all these leads, we give it to everyone that's inside of our coaching program. Like as soon as they join, they get the ad, and then they can just go run it. That's it. We hand them the best performing ads that we find on our own account, thousands of dollars to spend, hand it to them, and then they go run it in their own account. So pretty cool stuff. And then also we review their ads regularly. So like, again, they can jump on, get their ads reviewed, make sure they have everything going, and they can get their leads coming in like on autopilot, where we do most of the testing for them, and they just run the ads we tell them. And basically, it's great because it's super profitable when you do the self-gen as opposed to buying leads. And this is essentially kind of like the coaching program that we have set up. So you get weekly coaching, all of our top ads, and then also support from us inside of a community. So if you guys want to learn more about that, there's going to be a link down below. There's like a video that explains how the whole program works. If you guys want to learn more about that, click the link down below. And if you guys want to see that video, if you guys want me to make a video about like the in-pain leads and how that whole system works, how to actually find those niches, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.